hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Kristina, Kristina. This is where we read books and talk books and maybe be a little awkward here and there. This is what you see is what you get. This is just me reading books, talking about books, reviewing books, talking. But anyways, I could appreciate the like and subscribes. I have just passed 200 thumbs up. It took about, I got to 170 last September. It is now May. We're actually pushing into June now. And we'll see what happens. I don't like to mention, I feel I'm jinxing it by saying I got past 2, but hey, could we do 1,000 by Christmas? I tried that last year and it didn't get me anywhere, but I will try it this year. Maybe we'll start a little early. So we'll see what happens. But so this is the D. Louise book series, and on Mondays we do Flashback Monday, where we talk about my most favorite magazine in the entire world that is still valid today, and you can still get really good ideas today. This is what you went to before Goodreads. And it's so much easier. There's such a physical, all right, Bookreads has a million trillion books on there now. But back in the day, this was the magazine to go to. You look at I did it If Then, so check out my If Then, because on Fridays, we do Star Trek Next Generation recaps and If Then. Every Friday afternoon. If you like this author, then you might like that author. And we started out with the Bridgertons. If you like the Bridgertons, then maybe you like the Mallorys, or Joanna Lindsay's Mallorys, or Catherine Coulter Sherbrooke's, or Mary Bailow's Wrens and their other sagas she did. So check that out. We've done Homicide Detectives. We will do that one again, because once I stopped looking, I started finding them. We did Forensics with Patricia Cornwell. We might do another one of those. So please check all those out. And of course, Flashback Mondays. And then of course, my daily book reviews. We just finished up James Patterson's Women's Murder Club. I'm trying to do Alex Cross. It's a little slow going. The books they're so old, it's hard to get to. We're finishing up Beatrice Small's Guy O'Malley saga, and we're doing Victoria Thompson, Gaslight series with Sarah Brandt and Tom Malloy, and I'm looking at a few others. I had tried to do John Sanford, and if you go watch that video, you'll see why I'm not continuing with that series. So I'm looking for a few others. I'm trying to continue with the Alex Cross. I'm looking at Lisa Gardner and Robert Kress Parker, one of them. It's got a good library series I want to look at. So anyways, Flashback Mondays. This is where we talk about Romantic Times Book Review Magazine and all the books they handled in here. They do historicals, mystery, sci-fi, contemporary romance, paranormal, inspirational, and harlequin, and erotica. You try and get me another magazine that does all those. So, featuring Lori Foster. And I don't have this one. I think I had it at one point. I kept the Simon series. I'm trying to get them back now. There's a lot of books that I gave away that I'm really, really regretting. If anybody sees P.L. Enrod, what's that guy's? The one that did the Spellbinder series. I'm trying to find that one too. And Spellsinger series. And L.A. Banks. And there's a Mary Baylow. I'm missing a few Mary Baylows, which is weird because I have so many. But anyway, Laurie Foster. And we're going to be talking about quite a few of these a few times in here. But this is where we talk about all the books. Laurie Foster, The Good Fight. Let's see if I can get that. There you go. I need a new computer, by the way. My battery has completely 100% zip gone. If you don't keep it plugged in, the whole thing dies. So I gotta get me a new one. Ultimate fighting romance novels, some might say the two endeavors have as much in common as yin and yang. It wasn't until author Laurie Foster came along with her SBC, Supreme Battle Challenge, fighter series that the two worlds became intertwined. With New York Times best-selling nods and a controversial genre shift in the previous SBC fighter book, Foster isn't pulling any punches in Back in Black. In Back on Black, Foster thrusts SBC President Drew Black into the ultimate fighting arena. Abrasive and domineering, Drew is no stranger to fans of the series, having appeared in some of Foster's prior fighting books. Causing Havoc, Simon Says. I have Simon Says. Hard to Handle, and My Man Michael. This time around, readers get to see Drew more in depth, to learn that there are layers to him, says Foster. The woman responsible for coaxing Drew away from alpha sensibilities is public relations pro Jillian Knobb. Jillian has been hired by the owners of the Ultimate Fighting Organization to change Drew's public image, to make him nicer so that the sport can go mainstream. They butt heads in a way the author hints, though he's more intense and complicated than her other clients. Jillian finds herself responding to Drew's charms. And we'll talk about it again in the reviews. Urge to Merge. It is a truth universally acknowledged that Jane Austen is a cottage industry, and if you put her, or at least the Regency era, in a book, it's pretty likely you'll have a hit on your hands. And they did Jane Austen and the Vampire too, Zombie or something, didn't they? Oh yeah, the zombies pictured there. But we asked a few authors. They tried to, but just what this mystery marauder the mashup in the music world, it's the blending of two or more songs, be they very similar or different, into one hybrid creation. YouTube has many examples of audio mashups which hit their zenith around the 20th century. Let's see. So they go on talking about different mashups. So then they said, we asked authors to, just off the top of their head, discuss a possible mashup of two different books. So The Old Man and the Seal by Susan Brockman and Ernest Hemingway. An elderly man sets out on a daily voyage only to snare a tall Texan in a wetsuit who swears a lot. Okay. Plum Draining. Oh, I forgot to get these. I wanted to talk about these. I have to get these. Janet Ivanovich. Stephanie has to go Olympic Peninsula of Washington to track down a failure to appear and run smack into Twilight Bunch, teenage werewolves, and vampires. Goodnight Moon Baby by Susan Elizabeth Phillips and Margaret Chase Brown. Chicago Stars quarterback Cal Bonner celebrates another victory by drinking too much, then paying an ill-advised nighttime visit to his elderly grandmother. The quiet old lady takes in her inebriated grandson's condition and passes judgment with a single whispered word, lush. Catcher in the Rye Whiskey. J.A. Conant and J.D. Salinger. Tough cop Jacqueline Jack Daniels chases teenage serial killer Holden. See a body, kill a body, Caulfield, who is craving up phonies on Chicago's Gold Coast. They're cute. So you'll have to check those out. MASH notes. Demon Victoria Hunter. Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Abraham Lincoln. The Vampire Hunter. Little Women in Twilight. U is for Ulysses. You can't get these. We talked about Kismet last time. I can spend hours going. I have spent literally hours going through these magazines over and over and over again. I can read them forever, always finding something new. Stephanie Lawrence and India. There once was a time when I spent a large part of my life exploring some of the world's most exotic settings. Aside from being born in Ceylon, I traveled extensively with my husband before and after settling down, first in England and later back home in Australia. The historical novels of the Black Cobra Quartet have an international flavor, with settings drawn largely from my own journeys. The prelude to the quartet takes place in India, and the latest volume, The Elusive Bride, the intrepid hero and heroine, set off from Bombay, now known as Mumbai, to journey through the Arabian Peninsula, Northern Africa, the Mediterranean, and France. Much of what is within those pages comes from my own adventures. We traversed the globe, starting with Kathmandu and ending in London, making our way through northern India and the Ganges Valley up in Kashmir, to lays on houseboats on the lake at Singora, then through Pakistan and up the Khyber Pass into Afghanistan. From there we continued west across Iran, then still ruled by the Shah, down to Isfahan, up the Caspian Sea, across Turkey to Istanbul. Check it out. Wait a second. I wanted to get those. What is it? So, we'll talk about that. Oh, and we'll talk about this book again when the review comes up, when we get to the review. But it's Women in Command. And here we go. Lee Modesitt Jr., Arms Commander. And we'll talk about it with the review. But there's a big article in here. She's always got to go off. We have to check out my New Year's Eve video for her identity. Let's see if she can finish. Bing, 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 bing. I should just pause the video. It never occurs to me to pause the video. Oh, 7. All right. Science fiction and fantasy author Lee Modesitt Jr. has wanted to write the story of Arms Commander, the 16th book in the Saga of Recluse series, for almost 10 years. In his newest novel, Modesitt answers a number of questions about the world of Recluse and gives readers something unique to the series, a female perspective. Arms Commander picks up 10 years after the conclusion of Chaos Balance, and is the first in the series to be told from a woman's point of view. The novel features 3 women: Zelda, the regent of Lornith, Reba, the marshal of Westwind, and Serena, the arms commander of Westwind, at the opening of the book. While the novel has elements of romance, Modesitt says it's essentially the power struggles the women have with male rulers and traditions. So we'll see the review in a few minutes. We'll get there. But there you go. Can't get this stuff today. All right. Where are they now? I'm not gonna read it. You can just. Laura Kinsale. I think we talked about her last book. Now, I didn't get one of her books. I don't think there's a book reviewed in here. How about some adult situations? Sisters in Crime. PJ Paris. 2 siblings give birth to a unique PI. Well before radical president entered the White House, Kelly Nicholas and Christy Monteith, the sisters best known to mystery readers as P.J. Paris, conceived of Lewis Kinsale, a brachial detective raised by white foster parents. First appearing in 1999, Dark of the Moon, Lewis has progressed from the 1980s Detroit cop to a Florida private investigator in the 90s. I wanted to, back in the day, we had adult publishers, Sandheim, Lynsay, and Elleris Cave. So I have some Sandheim. Alright. Oh, wait a second. Where's that article? I walked right by it. Alright, I'm losing my mind. I had went and got this stupid book because of the article. No, I can't. Well, that's just weird. Alright, I've lost my ever picking cotton mind. I could have sworn. One, two, three, four. I've lost my mind. Oh, I guess it had to be a different. It was a. Oh, I got up for nothing. All right. Stephanie Lawrence. My Sinsters. I have done several videos on the Sinsters. Please check them all out. We did one, the Sinsters versus the Mallarys, and then I did an additional Sinster one recently. So you'll have to check that out. I believe there was an if then. Oh, well, if you like the Bridgertons, then you'll like Joanna Lindsay's Mallory's, Catherine Coulter Sherbrooke's, and Stephanie Lawrence Sinsters. The whole film. You can read the books in order, starting with Devil's Bride and work your way through the boys and then go through. And the characters reappear. All the books are connected. They're literally all connected. You know, there's like 30 something books or something like that now. They're all connected. Devil will appear in several of them, and that other guy will appear in several. It's one continuous series. They're all connected. They're the same people. It's a fantastic series. The Elusive Bride, 4.5 stars. Lawrence has outdone herself in the second book of the Black Cobra Quartet, combining a wondrous plot filled with suspense, emotion, dynamic hero, a fearless, forward-thinking heroine, and a story that crackles. And this series and the Buccaneer Quartet, they're all taking place at the same time. It's just amazing how she did all these. But anyways, where was I? Emily Ensworth is traveling in India when her party is attacked by members of the Black Cobra terrorist cell. Believed to be controlled by a traitor within the British government, she's given a packet by Captain James McFarlane right before he's killed. Oh, and the audiobooks are awesome too. It's a guy that does them, and he does them really good. After delivering the parcel, Emily is escorted to the governor's residence by Major Gareth Hamilton on their 3-month journey back to England. While under constant Black Cobra attack, they form a bond. The emotional relationship escalates as their pursuers chase them across England. It's a massively, massively good series. Taming the Highland Bride, 4.5 stars. Sands again demonstrates her superb ability to write an exciting story full of intrigue and passion, while making the reader smile at the humor woven into the fabric of the romance. Her characters display emotional depth that complements her moving depiction of Highlands. For 6 years, Mary Stuart has contended with her ornery, irate, and continually drunken father and brothers. She vows never to wed a man who drinks, but her first meeting with her betrothed, Alex G. Armsbury, occurs after the blacksmith got him drunk in order to pull a tooth. Mary believes he's just as bad as her family, and marriage will be no different from her current life. Although also someone has been poisoning Alex, so he awakens every morning with a hangover. This does nothing to improve Mary's impression of him, but soon they realize someone is trying to kill Alex. Solving the mystery draws them into a frightening, action-packed climax and romance. And if you haven't seen my Argino videos from last year, please go check those out. Did the most of the series, about 15 or 16 books through. Let's see. The Truth About Lord Stoneville, 4.5 stars. Jeffries' new series presents the Sharp siblings, 5 rakish, rogue, scandalous members of the ton, who must marry within the year or lose their inheritance. The author pulls out all the stops with a story combining half-mark humor, poignancy, and sensuality. As the Marquis of Stoneville, Oliver Sharp lives as a carefree rake until his grandmother insists he wed or lose his income. He defiantly brings home an unsuitable fiancée once he finds in a brothel. American Maria Butterfield is in London tracking down her missing fiancé. Following a lead, she ends up nabbed by Oliver and blackmailed into pretending to be his betrothed. But their charade unexpectedly turns into an explosive passion. Romance. Nicole Jordan, To Tame a Dangerous Lord. Jordan continues her courtship way series with the sexually charged romance she pairs as a spy master with a courageous female, along with secrets, misunderstanding, and danger to create a nicely crafted, absorbing tale. 4 stars. With his days working with British intelligence over, Rayan Kenyon, Earl of Haviland, is a bit bored until fate brings Madeline Ellis into his life. Outspoken and independent, she is a challenge to him. He decides she might be what he's looking for. She'll give him an heir in a marriage of convenience with none of the heartache of love and betrayal. Madeline declines his offer. She wants a marriage filled with love. But soon she agrees. Then misunderstanding and circumstances beyond their control threaten their marriage and their lives. Ooh. I enjoyed the heck out of these books way back when. It only took about an hour or so to read them. I was reading 2 and 3 books a day. You know, I've read, I've probably read 110, 115 books this year so far. I'll have to check my Goodreads. I've been trying to mark them and keep track. What else? Alright. Jennifer Blake, right there. 4.5 stars, Triumphant Arms. Blake's last Maîtresse d'Armes book is an absolute joy with a sharp eye for detail and dialogue. She serves up murder, secrets, retribution, and the return of the members of the Brotherhood in an intensely passionate and emotional-filled romance. Christian Lenore sees the widow of Madame Renée Marie Cassard and knows he wants her. When he wins a card game with her father and becomes the owner of the family's home, he offers her a proposal. She and her family can continue to live at River's Edge if she marries him. Interesting. Mary Wine in the warrior's bed. 4 stars. Second in the McJames Family Chronicles is a tale as vibrant and sensual as the era it's set in. Strong characters befitting of the times yet appealing to the modern reader set this tale apart from the usual and have readers begging for more. Bronwyn McQuaid has been raised by a mean and vengeful father who refuses to dower his only daughter. While riding their lands, Bronwyn meets Cullen McJames. She has no idea he's the clan's enemy, but her brothers see to it their father hears of her betrayal. Cullen marries to Bronwyn would assuage her father's need for vengeance. He also knows her father would never agree, so he steals his bride away, using his powers of seduction to win her as a wife. Her father suddenly dies, leaves her a land-wealthy woman. That's why her brothers decide to follow their father's dictate to kill her. Bronwyn and Cullen reach an uneasy alliance. Perhaps there is hope for peace in the Highlands. And Andrea Hawkins. Alexandra. I don't know why. Oh. There was the Blake book. Okay. There it is. Alexandra Hawkins. All Night with a Rogue, 3 stars. Hawkins' First Lords of the Vice tale calls to mind the highly sensual reads of Beatrice Small and Susan Johnson, though the pace slows as Hawkins builds the background and there are a few too many villains. The Marquis of Sinclair or Sin is one of the group of noblemen known as the Lords of Vice. They break hearts as easily as they break society's rules. When his sister asks Sin to seduce Lady Juliana Ivers and break her heart, he surmises she is not a silly chip but a vibrant, intelligent woman that he wants more than anything. All right. Oh, we didn't do Laura Kinsale. Let's just do that real quick. There we go. Laura Kinsale. 4.5 stars. One of the most beloved authors of the genre returned with a highlighted, joyous love story. Those seeking a dark tale and tormented hero will not find it here. Instead, they will delight in the engaging characters, Kinsale's sparkling sense of humor, and pure joy of reading a romance crafted by a master. Got 4.5 stars. Lady Calista Talifori doesn't mind being the countryside spinster. She's turned her passion to breeding prize bulls like her beloved Hubbard. Then her childhood sweetheart, Travelin, who has sent away after they shared a compromising kiss, returns after a 9-year exile. As they begin to rebuild their affections, an old jilt returns to woo Callie. Herbert is lost in a card game, and Travelin plots one more adventure for Callie. that paint Hubert and steal him back. Steal her back. So that's good. All right, let's move on. To let's point it. Look at all the historical romances they did. All this. I'm telling you, you could pick this magazine up today, and you would find many authors to read. All right. I'm gonna have to get some pictures for this. It's amazing how this particular lady is on the bestseller list, and she's been on the bestseller list now today for weeks. So her new book about Vietnam nurses. I got it. But this one, and it'll be here because all the copies were taken out because she's the best-selling author. Winter Garden by Kristin Hannah. So if you didn't know that she had other books, check this one out. Hannah once again mines the emotional landscape between mothers, daughters, and sisters that she does so well. I also recommend The Black Candle. She further stretches her range as a storyteller, weaving a heartbreaking World War II tale into a present-day family drama. Meredith and Nina Whitson are as different as sisters can be, sharing only their father's unconditional love and their Russian mother's complete lack of affection. When their father becomes ill, their cold mother offers little comfort. As children, the only moments of connection were when their mother occasionally told them a Russian fairy tale. As his last wish, their father gets the women to agree to follow the fairy tale to its end, beginning a journey in the past, war-torn Leningrad, as the sisters learn the harrowing story of their mother's life, and to Alaska, where they finally learn the true ending to the story. Kitchen Chinese, and Ma, 4.5 stars. This splendid debut is about food, family, finding yourself, and fabulous fun in foreign land. Readers are transported to Beijing and introduced to the culture, social life, and culinary delights by Isabel, a refreshing, at times bewildering guide who is experiencing it all for the first time. After her magazine career abruptly ends, Isabel Lee decides to leave New York, reconnect with her ancestry roots, and get reacquainted with her sister Claire in China. Their new life gets off to a rocky start. She experiences major culture shock, and as her familiarity with the language is limited to kitchen Chinese, her work options are almost non-existent. Then she lands a job as a food critic for a magazine serving the expatriate community and finds a welcoming group of new friends. Also, Big Girls Do Cry, 4.5 stars. In the sequel to Something on the Side, Weber masterfully shapes his characters and titillates with explosive and simmering action while developing each scene at a steady pace. The first-person point of view and vivid dialogue work wonderful to engage the reader. Isis resents her younger sister's blissful and wealthy marriage, especially since it's to her ex-fiancé Rashad. Egypt will live to rue the day she invited her mentally unstable, selfish sister to live with her. Another Big Girls Book Club member, Lorraine, owns a PR firm, but her own personal relationships are crashing. Sci-fi. Let's get to our Modesto Arms Commander, 4.5 stars. Modesto's latest is to the reader as interval training is to the marathoner slow, essentially pacing through much of the run with occasional high-speed action that get the adrenaline pumping. Sarin is as actualized a propagandist as you will ever read, and the plotting of the novel is superb. This truly is one book you won't put down. The changes coming to the lives that the women of the four lands have carved for themselves. At the peak of their world, and Sarin, the legendary arms commander of Westwind, is at the helm. The two patriarchal societies in the 2 of the 4 lands are threatened by the idea of a city-state run by women for women. As each plans an invasion, one by one political means and one by military, Saren is in the position of being instrumental in the survival of the West Wind and its only ally, Lawrence. Check it out. And our other sci-fi, which now during this time period, we had, it's all one now, or I consider it all one now. It's all one to me. But vampire, paranormal, urban are still going. But there's this new thing that came out, and they really pushed it, and I never could understand why they pushed it. But steampunk, new genre. But anyway, so this is listed under sci-fi though for this one. Steamed, Katie McAllister, 4 stars. Welcome to another wildly offbeat world, courtesy of the imagination of the amazing McAllister. This fish out of water tale is a clever steampunk fantasy spiced with McAllister's trademark humor. Computer engineer Jack Fletcher works on a nano-electrical mechanical systems takes a wildly unexpected turn when his sister Hallie accidentally fries the circuits, causing 2 of them to be capulated into an alternate reality where the Victorian steampunk technology and wardrobes rule. Captain Octavia Pye of AeroCorps is captaining her maiden voyage on the HIM Tesla. Having 2 unexpected towaways turn up on her ship is quite a shock, especially when they tell such a wildly improbable tale. With an empire in turmoil and revolution burgeoning, Octavia has a number of secrets to keep. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, here it is. Looking all over for this. So, we're starting to get into the MAGA feel. The MAGA is taking over the world, the MAGA comics. And so I have 2. We will talk about these again when they're released. This is February of 2010, and they come out in July of 2010. So I'm going to mention them now, and then when we get to July's magazine, I will probably talk about them again in greater detail. But our good friend Janet is doing the old comic book situation. So and this one. So she says it's when does the book come out? She says July. Why did you want to see the entire series continue as a graphic novel? My daughter Alex and I have always loved comic books. To this day, we both love subscriptions to Uncle Scrooge's Ventures. I think the main advantage to graphic novels is that now we get to see Sam Hooker in a bathing suit, Alex Barnaby all done up to get into a nightclub, and Beans the St. Bernard in full Drew mode. So check it out. Let's see. Here we go. There's the dog. So you'll have to check it out. And we'll talk about them again in July. All right. We did that. Lisa Wingate. Okay, this one right here. Never say never. 4.5 stars. Wingate delivers readers back to daily Texas with another touching tale. The infusion of humor and well-drawn characters are just what one needs to pass the long gray days of winter. The alternating first-person viewpoints of the two main characters give an intimate feel to the story. Donetta Bradford has finally convinced her two best friends to accompany her on a cruise, since her stick-in-the-mud husband would never consider going. The women arrive on the Gulf Coast at the same time as a major hurricane and must brave the elements to try to return home to their small Texas town. Kay Miller, an unattached young woman who also makes her living on the cruise ships, also must escape the coming storm. Circumstances bring her together with the women, and she ends up in Delhi, where she finds new friends and a possible romance. Beguiled. Dan just, that's this one here, right here. 4 stars. Gist and Bertrand's collaboration has a widespread appeal. The blend of romance and suspense is heartwarming and intriguing, and the Charleston locale is described so vividly that readers will feel as if they're right there. Dog walker Rayleigh Monroe makes her living taking care of the pets of Charleston's wealthiest residents. When she interrupts a thief named Robin Hood who has been stealing from her clients, Riley becomes both a target and a suspect. Logan Woods, a crime reporter for the local newspaper, is writing a book about the theft. As the two join forces, Logan begins to fall for Riley but discovers that she has some secrets. And Colleen Cobble is the last one. Pictured right there. The Light Keeper's Daughter, 3 stars. Historical novel is a debut for Cobble, but her trademark mix of mystery and romance remains and still delights. While parts are a bit slow, uncovering the secrets surrounding Laura and Julia will keep readers guessing. Adelie Sutherland grew up having to struggle for basic necessities. She's surprised to learn that she may be the lost daughter presumed dead of the wealthy Henry Eaton, whose wife Laura drowned more than 20 years ago. Addie accepts a job as governor for Eaton Hall in hopes of uncovering her heritage. While it becomes more apparent that Edie may indeed be Julia Eaton, she'll need proof to convince Henry. See what happens. Right. We've got some teen. So check those out. Vampire Diaries becoming a TV series. Mystery romance. City of Dragons. This one right here, City of Dragons. 4.5 stars. In this terrific book, Stanley puts all the right elements together to make the first in her new series a winner. Center stage is private investigator Miranda Cobby, a feisty gal with tons of attitude. She might be hard-boiled on the outside, but you never forget she's a lady. The noir atmosphere of 1940s San Francisco is so brilliantly recreated, you'll swear you can hear the music, taste the food, and feel the desperation of many that Miranda comes in contact with. While San Francisco's Chinatown is celebrating the Chinese New Year in 1940 with a rice bowl party, a three-day and night carnival to raise money in support for China war relief. Miranda Cabby, a 33-year-old private eye Spanish Civil War nurse and escort, just hopes to make it home safely. Instead, she stumbles upon the fatally shot body of Eddie Tomeski. The Chamber of Commerce wants the murder covered up, and the police give in a bit too easily for Miranda's taste. She wants to solve the crime and see the justice is served no matter the cost. And don't think nope. Cara Royal, Murder in the Palace Royale. Cara Black, 4.5 stars. Black Amy's Leduc mystery series are known for their innovative view of Paris. Wait a second, let me just. Oh. No. Okay. Black Amy's Leduc mystery series are known for their innovative view of Paris, for the glittering tourist-filled streets. These are the books of underclass, the poor immigrants, the Haitian community, the Algerians, and how their communities intertwine with the current political situation. Betrayal is common and secrets come out to ruin lives. Amy, a computer security analyst, gets involved with gritty mysteries, all the while wearing elegant heels and trying to have a private life. Interesting, got 4.5 stars. Renee has been shot. The dwarf who Amy's partner in her detective agency, and many ways her best friend, is in intensive care. And to Amy's shock, she's the only suspect. Witnesses place her on the scene, buying the gun and with a large illegal deposit in the company account. Amy knows she's innocent, but how can she prove it when Renee thinks she was the woman with the gun? Now, if you have not checked out all 60 of my videos, please check them all out. They are all done. I did all 60 books. I did all the half books in between. Eve Dallas is a detective with the New York City Police and Security Department. Her partner is Peabody. Peabody's co-hab is McNabb. He also works in the EDD department. Feeney was Eve's mentor. He's captain in the EDD department. Whitney is her superior boss. Mira is the department shrink. Nadine is a newspaper reporter headed for a career in TV. And Mavis and Leonardo and Bella, I think she's around by this point. But these is an awesome series. I live and breathe these books. Please check out all my videos on these if you have any more questions. 4.5 stars, Fantasy and Death. Lieutenant Eve Dallas is used to clever killers, but when she's baffled by her nearest perennial #1 J.D. Robb, takes the locked room mystery to a whole new level in her gritty series. So the guy's playing a video game and he gets beheaded in the video game in a locked room. It's when Eve finally figures it out. It's awesome. Burt Montauk, I feel bad for him. His girlfriend, he was just starting out. His company was taken off. He was living the life. When Eve and her partner Peabody are called to a crime scene, they discover Bart Minnock, one of the founders of the gaming giant Uplay, decapitated in a locked room with no weapons and no signs of forced entry. Since Bart's girlfriend and his partners Ben, Sil, and Var appear sincerely grief-stricken, Eve has trouble generating suspects. But she will, and Rock is going to help her husband, along with the major domo Somerset. And Galahad the cat. You must check out all my videos. I love these books. Let's see. Hank. I'm gonna do a video on these soon. This is a really good series. Hank Phillippi Ryan, a complex plot sprinkled generous with humor, and Charlie's wisecracking first-person narrative are the highlights of this extremely entertaining mystery. 4.5 stars. Ace investigation reporter Charlie McNally is working on a story that has Emmy written all over, an expose of car cloning operation, and she's just been offered her dream job in New York, but the timing is off. She and her fiancé Josh Gelson are planning a wedding and a life in Boston. Complicating her life even further, Charlie smells a story behind the scenes of the posh Baxter Academy, the private school where Josh teaches. Someone is making threats regarding the students, which includes Josh's daughter Penny. What could following up be a conflict of interest for Charlie? It's a fine line, but she can't resist. And she'll uncover secrets. And Diana Stabenow, another private investigator. Night Too Dark, 4 stars. Kate Sligo's dark side is on display in Stabenow's 17th series novel, which mixes Alaska splendor, environmentalism, greed, and bigamy. There isn't a stone left unturned as Stabenow exhumed old memories and her new problems in a book tout with danger and enriched by varied personalities. When what is supported to be the world's second largest gold mine is discovered practically in Kate's backyard, she isn't sure if the surge to local economy will be worth the changes she's seeing. The miners are bringing in their own set of problems, including murder, depression, adultery, and greed, to mesh with the changing community, and everyone from Ranger Dan to Jim Chopin to the 4 aunties is working to adjust. Okay. Beverly Barton, dead by midnight. Barton continues to explore the lives. Barton continues to explore the lives of characters connected to the Powell Detective Agency. A key theme running through this chilling tale is whether you can escape your past. Readers met Mike and Laurie's tangled history in Silent Killer. Now a determined killer is stalking Laurie. Multi-layered stories with some interconnection plot layers make Barton's novel complex and unpredictable. Laurie Hammond has paid for her tragic, youthful pursuit of a dream. It cost her reputation, respect, and the love of her life. These days, Laurie is rebuilding her life, if not her love life. Back in her hometown, Sheriff Mike Bucket can't forgive Laurie for breaking his heart and running off to Hollywood. His antipathy even causes him to initially doubt the death threats Laurie receives. The Powell detective Maylee Purdue realizes the threats are deadly serious, especially since she learns that someone is killing the cast members on the adult film Laura worked. Interesting. I think that was it. Oh, Karen Hopper, Down the River. Kay Hooper, sorry. My bad. Down the River. 4.5 stars. Hooper's darkly riveting Blood trilogy comes to a terrifying climax. The forces that have been trying to subvert the paranormal special crime units take aim with terrifying precision. Familiar characters from previous novels return as their stories continue to unfold. Come here. I lost my place. Thank you. Noah Bishop's unique FBI team, the Special Crimes Unit, is called to a small Tennessee town when a dismembered body is discovered on a running trail. The discovery of another body hidden deep within the woods leads to a sniper attack on agents Diana Briscoe. Come here. Diana Briscoe and Hollis Templeton. Why display one body and hide the other? Diana Hollis and agents Quentin Hayes and Renee DeMarco begin to suspect a supernatural tie to their previous case involving the now deceased incarnation evil Adam Dinkins Samuel. Meanwhile, Noah continues to stalk the man financing the campaign against the SCU. As the lethal attacks continue and the bodies escalate, the SU team faces its deadliest danger yet. AM Daughters. Capturing Karma. Four and a half stars. Daughters gives readers another tale about a beautiful psychic and a reluctant cop. Yet it feels new and exciting. The author writes with such a warm, flowing style, it's like visiting old friends. Matilda Maddie Connor's vision may have helped the police, but it's resulted in the death of her fiancé. Needing to fresh start, she moves cross country and helps her brother with an animal clinic. She is drawn into the case of missing students when she finds herself writing a letter to the young man's mother, a letter he dictated to her. Rushing to get the letter to Brian Sullivan, a police officer has worked with a past. Maddie runs into him with her car. Brian doesn't believe Maddie's vision, even though she has proven herself to him before. I hate when they self-doubt. I hate when they self-doubt. There's one. Hold on tight. This purple one here. 4 stars. The third in a series about dark, intense, and sexy Navy SEALs. Pilot novel has 2 complicated characters who are neck deep in investigations and under the watchful eye of a killer. Pilot does it again with his tight, riveting, very hot read. Jamie has spent her life living a lie and never been able to trust anyone with the truth. But when Chris Waldron steps into her life and bears his own secrets, Jamie may have found the one person she can trust to keep her safe. Too bad she's investigating him for killing a member of his own team. Oops. Contemporary romance. Robin Carr. Let's see if I can do this. Angel's Peak. Strong 4.5 stars. Let's go up here. There we go. Conflict, humor, and well-written characters are Carr's calling cards. They're all present here. Sean is to die for, and he well-matched strong-willed Francie. You won't want to put this one down. 4 years ago, Air Force pilot Sean Reardon and flight nurse Francie Duncan broke up when she wanted to get married and settle down, and he didn't. Now a chance meeting brings Sean back into Francie's life, stirring up old emotions and forcing her to tell him why she disappeared after they split. Sean's amazed to learn he's their father, but he decides instantly that he wants to do right by their daughter, Rosie. Francie isn't sure she trusts Sean enough to let him into their lives, but Sean's determination to top off, he only wants to be a father to Rosie. He wants Francie back too. Let's see if he can do it. And I've got all of these. This is a trilogy. Wait a minute. Let's see. I just saw it. Is it here? Yep. There it is. I've got all of these. All 3 of them. Linda Lael Miller. She did a vampire series too, you know. Just $3. It was a 3-book vampire series way back when. Always and Tonight, or Tonight and Always. What was I doing? Oh. Linda Mail Miller, The McKettricks of Texas. 4 stars. This is a delightful story of 2 people who should be together but whom circumstances have pulled apart. Watching them find their way back to each other is both heart-wrenching and satisfying because Miller crafted amazing, deep characters who tug at readers' hearts. Libby Remington has had her heart shred too many times. Her mom left her when she was young. Her father died and she was dumped by her true love after he cheated on her and got someone else pregnant. Yet when Tate McTetrick comes knocking on her door, asking for another chance, Libby's hard-pressed not to give him one. One drunken night ruined Tate's chances with Libby. While he wouldn't trade his twin daughters for the world, he'd give everything to have Libby back. So check it out. And let's just do a quick nod to the cover. Oh, they didn't do it. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, it did. There it is. Back in black. 4.5 stars. Foster's latest is pure entertainment and a joy to read. Drew and Gillian are adversarial at first, but they soon develop a delightful back and forth relationship. The secondary romance has a likable characters in Brett and Audrey. Gillian's job is to clean up Drew's Black's act. As president of the SBC fight organization, he needs to be a more presentable figurehead, not the foul-mouthed braggart that he is. After meeting Drew, Gillian fears she may have bitten off more than she can chew. Yet when he proposes a private secret fling, she can't help but agree. So check it out. Now, Jesus. Now, you know me and paranormals. All right. Born of Ice, the League series. 4.5 stars. Kenyon completes her written Kenyon trilogy with the explosive Born of Ice. And the series goes on after this. And there's a prequel too, or there's one book that you have to read. She wrote it later, but you have to read it before because it's a whole bunch of. If you read after it, if you read, I forget which book it was, but if it's the kids' book, and if you read the kids' book first, and it's just messing. I have to figure it out. I forget which one it is, but I know the kids. You have to read them in date order, not published order, character date order, or you get spoilers of the Yin Yang because she wrote them out of order. So it's got 4.5 stars. With her family sold into slavery by her father, Alex Jordan has no choice when she's ordered by Merjak to infiltrate Devon Kell's ship as its new engineer. Merjak hates Devon's parents. Yeah. See, that's the kid. You have to wait till you have to read the other ones before. Alex is to find or plant the evidence to arrest Devon, or her mother and sister will die. Having a league assassin who broke with organization, Devon is well versed in danger and treachery, but he doesn't quite know how to make his new engineer. What Devon does know is that the main attraction between them is fear. It's a damn good series. Alyssa Day, well, I'll skip that one, but I used to own them. But she's a local author for me. I could never understand Vampires of the Ocean fan. I just couldn't. It just didn't work for me. Ecstasy Unveiled, 4.5 stars. It says it's a scorcher. That means hot sex. Imagine a world where demons and angels work together to protect chosen beings, where family drama exists not only in the human world but in demon realm as well, where angels and demons could fall in love. This is the world of Ione Ecstasy Unveiled. This is the 4th book in her beloved Demonica series. Laura is a demon, a half-bred sexual demon who is also an assassin. He has one more kill to make before he's to be released from his master. If he succeeds, his sister will live, but when he finds out that his mark is protected by an angel who sparks something in him he's never experienced before, Laura must find a way to work with this angel and turn the tables. Check it out. And James Showalter has 2 books in here. Primates, Jennifer Ashley, 4 stars. Delve into a gritty world where inequality and prejudice are realities of the shifter life. Award-winning Ashley develops a new series, Shifters Unbound, that is sexy but with a hard edge. Attorney Kim Fraser has been given a case no one wants, defending a shifter from a murder charge. In the 20 years since the existence of shifters have been acknowledged, they have been viewed as animals by most. Only the existence of the collars they are forced to wear to tame their violence has allowed them to live openly in shifter towns. Kim is positive Brian didn't kill his human girlfriend, but proving it will be hard. Kim hopes that Liam, his father Dylan, and his brother can help police the shifters and keep their secrets. And I am freezing. So, oh, freezing, freezing, freezing. Accidentally demonic. 4 stars. Dakota Cassidy. The unlucky gene seems to run in Schwartz's family as Wanda's little sister Casey has her own run-in with Supernatural. The author's outrageous humor is on full display as the whole gang faces yet another crisis of the world. It never a dull moment in Cassidy's book as both the snappy dialogue and the wacky hijinks ensure giggles. Casey's job as a PR handler for 2 rich twins has consumed her life to the point that she's lost touch with her big sister Wanda. But when Casey ends up in jail for beating down on an off-duty officer, Wanda is the one she calls. Casey can't explain her sudden bout of temper or extreme strength. Unfortunately, Vampire Clayton, Grimace, and Ken. We'll see what happens. Oh. Amanda Ashley. Everlasting Kiss. 3 stars. While Daisy and Eric are enemies, the conflict between the lovers seems to barely be a stumbling block. Despite the story's action-packed feel with too many secondary characters and too little primary character development, this was a little bit of a disappointment. But if you want a vampire romance, otherwise, this is it. Daisy O'Donnell is a vampire-hunting, compass-wielding heroine who is about to be up to her neck in trouble when she accidentally stakes one of the vampires she is only supposed to steal blood from. She throws the LA vampire into a tizzy. Check it out. Jean Frost, first job of Crimson. In the first spin-off from her popularly Wild Night Hunter series, Frost turns the spotlight on Kat's best friend Denise and devilishly handsome vampire Spade. Since these characters have been important secondary characters, moving them to the forefront is a welcome development. When her husband Randy was killed during a zombie attack a little over a year ago, Denise pulled back from the vampire world and her best friend Kat. But when her cousin and his family are suddenly murdered by a demon, Denise desperately needs some supernatural help. With Kat and Bones out of touch, Denise contacts the one person whose number she also has, Spade. He discovers that Denise has been attacked and marked with demon essence by Malfurus. Unless Spade and Denise can track down a man named Nathaniel who escaped from Malfurus, the rest of Denise's family will also die. Check it out. Oh. And I missed a book before. Eileen Wilks, Blood Magic, 4.5 stars. A new chapter in the Lupi saga with Agent Lily Yu and Lupi Prince Rule Turner is here. Readers get a tantalizing glimpse in the past of one of the series' most angelic characters, Lily's shape-shifting grandmother. Wilkes' storytelling is so densely laid with plot complexities and well-defined characters that it quickly immerses readers into the fascinating world. As Lily and Rule plan their wedding, they face reservations and pressure from both sides of their family. Then, that Lily's grandmother has gone MIA is also a concern. But everything else becomes secondary during a baby shower for Sin and Cullen of the Nicole clan home. Cullen is nearly assassinated. Lil puts on her FBI hat and investigates. All right. One day, when we get sexy and lose 50 pounds, we'll talk Mary. We talked all of Laurel. I did all those, so please check out those videos from last year. We read the whole series. And we're now doing J.R. Ward, by the way. Divine Misdemeanors. This may well be the best Mary Gentry book so far. With a thrilling, fast-paced plot and comparatively little sexual activity, Hamilton is a master of penning characters that grow realistically with each book. It's the Fae. It's Mary Gentry and the Fae. Pregnant Princess Meredith and the Fae most devoted to her are adjusting to the permanent exile in Los Angeles when a series of murders pulls them away from the peace that life outside the unseelie court brings. Some or something is murdering the demi-fae, the little flower fairies that tend to the city's parks and wild spaces. Let's check it out. Gena Showalter, twice as hot. 4 stars. Extraordinary girl and reluctant superhero Belle Jameson is back and almost ready for action. Showalter picks up events after his sizzling play with fire and throws another curveball at her harem. Belle struggles with the unforeseen events lead to plenty of angst, anger, and adventure. Working as a paranormal investigator, Bella is just getting her feet wet. She's also trying to plan her wedding to super sexy shifter Rome. Minor disasters like burning up her wedding dress have made things stressful. But then the unthinkable happens and Rome is attacked by a villain called Memory Man, who steals all of his memories of Belle and their love. Oh, she's got to do it all over again. Oh, that's going to be hard. And which okay here I love this magazine. Oh, here we go. What a Demon One. She had all silly titles. This is a quick hour read, if that, hour and a half, depending on how fast you read. 3 stars. Although the mystery wears thin at times, it's fun to watch love create a multifaceted challenge for these unusual lovers. Elena's older and extremely overprotective brother has just hired his buddy author, supernatural bodyguard, Jude. Despite her initial resistance, what's the use in being a half-demon if you can't protect yourself? She comes to terms with having the sexy man around the house. He definitely comes in handy when it's time to antagonize her family. Okay? I want to go back to mysteries for 1 second because I forgot one. And it's one of my authors. I did videos in these last year, so please check out those videos. It's going off again. It's like the 3rd time during this video. Bing, 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 bing. If Books Could Kill, Kate Carlisle. A solid follow-up to Homicide in hardcover. Kate Carlisle's Lily bibliography mystery book follows restoration expert Brooklyn Wainwright to the Edinburgh Book Fair, where an intriguing mystery awaits her. Brooklyn's uncommon complication drives the well-constructed and smoothly executed mystery. Brooklyn arrives in Edinburgh to attend the world-famous book fair and reconnects with friends and acquaintances. One turns out to be ex-boyfriend Kyle McKeeve, who surprises her by asking her for help. Kyle has an original copy of a scandalous text written by poet Robert Burns. It involves a member of the British royal family and could prove damaging if it is indeed real. So she's got to prove it's real first. Interesting. All right, now, are you ready for some Harley Quinns? Shall we do some Harley Quinns? Would you like some erotica? Take a little erotica with you? No one else does erotica like these guys do it. God, so many to choose from. Where's my Harley Quinn? I passed it. Okay, so Stephanie Bond, right there. Her Sexy Valentine, 4 stars. Combining touches of Groundhog Day and A Christmas Story, Bond uses her unusual humor, intelligence, and fine writing to present a totally unexpected Valentine's Day story. Carol Snow is a member of the Red Tote Book Club, formed for readers. I lost my spot. Member of the Red Tote Book Club, formed for readers of romantic books. The group decides to read some century books and what they learn to seduce the men of their dreams. But Carol doesn't have a man of her dreams, and all men have left her with the motto, men are not to be trusted. The man she most distrusts is Luke Chancellor, who is too handsome and charming to turn your back on. Taylor Perrin and 107 and I'm going to do some of these. Taylor Perrin. There you go. Down here. I just lost my spot. Island Fantasy, 4.5 stars. Shayna catches her fiancé betraying her with entertainment for the bachelor party. The next day, she walks back up the aisle without marrying him and goes on their honeymoon to Jamaica alone. There, her intense attraction to the magnificent Donovan makes her uncomfortable. To Donovan on vacation with his family to celebrate a cousin's wedding. Shayna is the woman who will help him get past the death of his fiancé 2 years ago before. Although they immediately fall for one another, Shayna gives in to the doubt when she returns home. She talks herself out of it, probably. Laurie DeVito. The Hellhound King. Right there. And 4.5 stars. Half elf, half witch, Marina Adil is hiding in the United States, working as a chambermaid to avoid returning to the elf world. Elfheim and living as a princess under the uncle's control. But when Rafe Dog, the hellhound she had an affair with and imprisoned, comes to take her home, Marina realizes he's the least of her worries, as he's not the only one out to capture her. In fact, when she's in danger, Rafe travels to Alfheim to save her and solve the mystery of who killed his family. Interesting. So there you go. There's Romantic Times book review for February 2010. Please check out the If Then episodes on Friday, the recapping Star Trek Next Generation on Friday, and my daily book reviews. Please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I'm trying really hard here. I don't see anybody else doing all this. I don't see anybody else. There may be somebody out there, but I'm not aware of them who cover all these different genres in one book review. And I hope you, according to the analytics, you left about an hour and a half ago. So please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you.